Can I take it into the Apple store, even though it was bought on Amazon, to help me, transfer the old iPhone to the new iPhone?
Are you buying it from Apple?
No, Amazon. Help me, transfer
Uh,
the old iPhone to the new iPhone. Can't hear that.
So I'm oh, is
I
my
wasn't
mic
sure
up?
someone was
Yeah,
responding or not.
yeah, I didn't see anyone responding.
If
Uh,
if you
It's working.
okay.
if you're buying
Yeah,
a brand new phone
I got her.
from whoever, you're eligible for
Oh yeah.
uh, even assuming you don't purchase the Apple Care, I think you're still good for at least 90 days of support of some kind. So if you have any issues migrating, I'm sure you can make an appointment at the Genius Bar and they'll help you. Uh, Apple's really simplified it over the years compared to what it used to be.
Oh God, yeah.
It's fairly painless. Just what you want to do is make sure that you've got your backup turned on the old phone, and you
Got
have
it.
current backup, and should be able to migrate it pretty straightforward. It's fairly painless. You can either get yourself in with someplace where you have a good Wi-Fi signal, and as you turn both phones on and you bring the new one close to the old one, you'll see some prompts on the screen, and you can either transfer some of the initial information identifying you from one phone to another, and then it'll log into your account, and it'll load on a lot of the files you need just to kind of get up and running.
Mhm.
But as far as a complete backup, it may take an hour or two, depending on how much stuff you have on the old phone. You can either do it from device to device, or you can just have the new phone. It'll ask you all this stuff if you want to restore from a iCloud backup, and you can do it that way. And they made it pretty painless. But if it's too much or you get hung up somewhere, the Apple Store, the Genius Bar, they'll be glad to help you.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Barbara's got a question. Yes, Barbara.
Hi
Oh,
there.
but before you go on that one, I'm sorry, Barbara, but last time Pete was talking about his preference on when you get a new
Yeah.
phone on how to do it. So before we leave that topic, you might check with Pete on how he recommends doing that and see if that's the way you want to do it.
I think
It may not.
as I recall, maybe I'm not correct, but I think he preferred the iCloud download version. The
Yes.
storing from
Right.
a recent backup in the cloud. And like I say, if you have a whole bunch of files, it may take a little bit, but it'll load a whole bunch of stuff on initially so that you can use it. But sometimes as you're looking at the phone, it'll give you little icons of the apps that you had in the old device, but they'll be slightly grayed out. And then as the resolution starts to firm up, and they'll stop being grayed out, and at that point you'll know that they're ready to be used and stuff. They've fully downloaded. And I believe
Yeah,
at the end it'll tell you that it's been restored.
yeah, and he was pretty much don't do it ported.
Yeah, and if all else fails, you as a rule of thumb, uh, leave your old phone intact for a few days, one way or the other. In case there's a wrinkle or something, and you need to try to go a different route. But um, they've got the whole process refined, and millions of people buy new phones and upgrade, and so they've very rarely do the folks have issues. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. You can rest assured that it's pretty mature procedure at this stage of the game.
You must have ESBL.
Uh-oh.
If you check your messages.
Uh, Okay, here.
So we know where Ken is.
Oh,
Ah,
He just sent a email
Australia.
in
All
2 minutes
right.
ago.
oh,
Greetings from
okay.
Australia.
So he's rounding though. He's sounds like he's just about to make the
To
big
the
jump across
end.
the Pacific to
Yeah,
here into December. I know he's due back, I believe, December 20th.
right. I believe.
And okay, great. Greetings from Australia. Let me know if there are any problems getting the meeting recorded like normal. I'm available if needed. Just a
Yeah.
FYI there, Thomas.
All right. Do I need to give him a thumbs up or?
Yeah, yeah. If are we
I don't
recording?
know if, yes,
Let's
we're
see.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been up. Right.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I gotta
Yeah.
hit I have to hit the okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
So,
good.
Sorry,
oh,
Barbara, but I just wanted us to finish that up.
Oh, that's fine, Mary, no problem at all. So I have kind of a two-part question, follows based on the prior one. I'm gonna be getting a new phone and, two questions are, one, does anyone have any sense based on past history, how much Apple is likely to discount buying a phone? I wanna get one that, is not paired to a particular carrier. I wanna have, the,
mm,
all that, forget what they call that terminology. Anyway, I want it basically so that it's not tied to one of the major carriers. I get my pick of who to go with. Any sense of how much they discount phones, and is it more on Black Friday, more on Cyber Monday, or are they like everybody else and they start doing it a week or so before?
Well, it's as a rule in the past, uh, Apple really, unlike Amazon and other folks, they don't really discount their stuff too often. When a new phone comes out, they'll maybe keep a certain recent models in inventory, and but they're pretty set on their price. Now, if you get it from Amazon or any of the phone carriers, I mean, you can get it through them and you'll wind up paying it for it over 24 months or whatever the carrier terms are. And and if you get it from one of the carriers, you're probably going to be locked into to those guys as far as until you pay the phone off.
Right.
It'll be locked to their services and stuff. But I believe if you get it from Apple, it'll. I don't believe there's an issue. I mean,
Al, is that true with other things like the watch and the new AirPods? Is it also true that Apple doesn't tend to discount those and you gotta look out for
well,
it?
Apple doesn't, but those kinds of accessories. There'll be a whole bunch of sales in on Amazon and others, Best Buy. I saw a recent sale on like a 4-pack of the current generation AirTags for like $17, $18. They used to be $25 a pop. So I think I got a 4-pack for like $67 or something, just to keep around for future stuff. So Amazon does discount and Best Buy discounts, and a lot of the other large online retailers, B&H, and others. I would assume Target also sells Apple equipment, and they may not have the variety that you're looking for, specific models, but they do carry Apple gear. Are
Also,
you are you in the market for a watch?
yeah, Costco does too, and they actually give you at least on computers, they give you a 2-year warranty. I don't know if that's true on all the other stuff, but yeah, I need to get a new watch. I'm gonna get the Series 11. I need a new iPhone because I've got a 12 mini. So
Uh-huh. I would recommend getting on. I know it's kind of a pain, but getting on a mailing list. If you're an Amazon subscriber, if you have Amazon Prime, they'll send you promotional stuff all the time, and you can at this time of the year with the holiday season coming up. There's a lot of things that I won't pay list for. In my head, I've got a list of things that you know unless it's a sale. I don't absolutely need it, but it would be nice to have it. And this
As
is
an
the
altern Oh, as an alternative, Barbara, if you put it in your cart, like if you go to Amazon and you put it in your cart, it will tell you if you just go later, it'll tell you if it's cheaper.
Okay, okay. Related question. You mentioned Al going to the Genius Bar. It used to be that, when you get a new phone, you could just walk in and, if you went at a non-busy time, anybody that was on the floor would help you with setting it up. But now it sounds like you're better off making an appointment with the Genius Bar. Is that right?
Repeat what you said. I'm sorry. I was answering some email.
Yeah, I said that it used to be if you bought a phone, else you could just go into the Apple store, and if you didn't go at a busy time, anybody on the floor would help you set it up. But
Yeah.
now it's better to make an appointment with the.
Well, it's, if you value your time, or if you don't have to be somewhere doing something, make an appointment, and then you'll be seen. I'm sure, when they, like in September when they release the new phones and there's a mad rush to go get it, they'll it's probably pretty busy. But like I said earlier, updating phones and things of that nature, it's pretty mature process. Just turn it on and follow the prompts. And again, just like all things, make sure you have a good recent backup. And I've never gone to the Apple store to have them do any of that stuff. And in fact, they've got a pretty good Wi-Fi connection there, obviously. But if you have a lot of stuff on your phone, and you start the process there, you may have to linger until until you're fully restored. And if you got a lot, that could be an hour or two. I mean, so.
Yeah,
And they do it by class now. They don't just do it individually. I was looking into getting a new one, and they said they don't do that anymore as much. They would sign you up for a class to go in and do that, as I recall, and that could have just been when it was at the crush of it being brand new.
Yeah.
When they were just released.
that's good.
I recently purchased the watch, and they set it up for me. That's all they did, and I sat there for hours, reloaded everything. And then to find out all the features, you go to a class. They have them almost every quite regularly, and it's well worth it because it's different enough that I need that.
Yeah, of course, I was down.
Okay. I got a hand up here, Bev, or
Oh, I was just going.
Well,
I was just going to embarrass my friend Carol Duke. I invited her to come, and she has joined us today.
Great, welcome.
Unfortunately, she texts me she's having some issues with her getting the video going, so we won't get to see her lovely countenance.
we're just glad to have her. Good to see
there's Bev, tell her, is she a Zoom a newbie? Has she used it very
I don't
often?
think so. She did check, said that she's been having some trouble problems for a while on her laptop, and she has Apple phone. I told her you didn't have to be 100% Mac. She does have a PC laptop, but she's had the trouble for a while, tried lots of things to no avail. But I guess that's why her box maybe is black, as opposed to everyone else who has video off is a different shade of black.
She may have joined without the video when she first joined.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if she re-enters,
she.
I'm sorry. What was the suggestion?
At the bottom of the screen, lower left-hand corner, there's an audio icon and a video icon, and when before you log on, usually you have the option to jump in with them turned off or turned on, and it could be as simple as hitting the video button and it'll come up. She may have her settings set up in such a fashion as that it doesn't by default turn your video on for the meeting. Some people prefer not to, show their faces, or they'll just have a static picture.
I always turn it on
and control the
video
lower
immediately.
bar. I'm sorry, I
You
think
get-
I may have talked. Al, does that, if you do that at the beginning before you even kind of join,
Yes.
that will
Yes.
override?
Well, there's a way in the generic Zoom settings so that it'll default to turning it on or off when you join. But you can and there'll be a little dialog box, I believe, that comes up, and you just need to confirm whether you want to join with video or not. And if she's having an issue with the video, that could potentially be one culprit. If she doesn't have actual physical hardware issues with her machine.
I've tried everything and
Okay,
over
if you
time and nothing has worked.
okay,
I do
you
always start with video already on.
uh-huh.
I've looked and tried to reset the video, so I have no idea what it is, but I can do it on my iPad with no problem, but on my Windows laptop, I'm not able to do it. First, it changed at some point. I was always fine with it, and then it switched.
Let's see settings here.
Well, Pete has joined us. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
here. Hi, Pete. I saw you a while back.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Great.
The
So
holidays are upon us. I have this little thing, the number of days till Christmas. It's 36. I cannot. I want that sign down. It's stressing me out. 36 days till Christmas.
You mean you haven't bought my present yet, Pete?
Oh,
Oh, I
Lord.
have. You were first, Thomas.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, okay. That's good to hear.
Take it down.
Yes.
I gotta step
Al,
out for 1 second.
okay, we have another hand up for a moment. I think Al's going to come back to you, Carol, possibly. Barbara, I don't want to try to pronounce your name and misconnect it. Do you have a question? I mispronounced it.
It's
Excuse me.
Beto.
Beto.
It's not going to work because I had a question for Al. I wanted to know where and when he bought his air tags.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is Al.
I feel it might have been Amazon. I don't know, but I don't know if he did it recently or what.
Okay,
So that
yeah.
was my question.
He'll be back.
Barbara,
And
I've bought mine on Amazon and over the years, and they work just fine.
How much?
I don't recall.
I wasn't worried about him working. He had got a real good price.
Hey, Al,
the average price for an AirTag is about $25. If you can get them for cheaper than that, then you're doing good.
Oh yeah.
Costco often sells a
Where'd you
4-pack.
get them, Al? And when did you buy them?
I bought these. It's probably been a month ago, but I saw the ad come back up within a couple of days ago.
Where?
So on Amazon.
Okay, thanks.
So
like $17.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a good deal.
Thanks,
I'd
Al.
just buy a 4-pack.
Thank you.
all right, we have another hand up. Donna, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Yes, I'm going to send my question. Is this a time for questions and answers or problems?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. For a little bit. Go ahead.
I sent this one in a message to everyone because it's so long, but it's because I just I need information about rescuing a file. I had an old disk drive and I asked Apple Corps to take it off of there and put it on a current passport. And they did, but some of the files will not open. And the message that I get is there was numerous, it was said this particular Bella's library is not supported. It can be opened with Mac OS Monterey version 12 or earlier. Alternately, you can use the library import to add photos from one library to another. I don't know, can I load old versions of system software on a Mac?
Who's that? Is that a UL or a Pete?
No. Well, you can only have one operating system at a time. I guess you could load a virtual machine of some kind to do. But you're trying to import a library of photos, that Bell 3 Plus library.
Yeah, it's a small library of 4 photos, but yes.
And
And there's
they
multiple little files like this that say the same thing.
so are they actual photos? Are they JPEGs of some kind, or are
They
they
were, yeah.
were they specific? The Apple
Image
Photo app.
file.
You can make several. You can make distinct libraries, and then and
Oh, I don't
load them.
know.
Yeah, but you can only have one main library at a time.
Oh,
But
I don't know.
uh,
Maybe I do need to create a library of them.
well, you should be able to. It says the response you're getting is that it can be open in OS Monterey, and presumably you have something that's newer, and so
Yes.
therein lies the challenge, huh?
Well, then, but it also says alternately, you can use library import to add photos from one library to another. Does that have any
Okay,
meaning?
yeah. Well, if they're telling you that there's some kind of import function, maybe you can just go to the Photos library. It's to the photo application. Let me see here.
These were probably from the old iPhoto.
Uh-huh.
Donna, I have an old iMac that you could probably fire up, and then maybe then you could email them to yourself.
Oh, Mary, that's
And
great.
if they did that, if she did that, would they work?
Did we say this was 4 photos?
Well, this little library is, but there were multiple examples, small things like that. I don't know if it's 4 photos, but I wouldn't have too many of that particular title. It was like a folder or something, possibly,
So if she had
in
the
iPhoto.
access to an old computer, she could see them, and then could she do?
Well, that's not necessarily the case. Versions of photos or versions of iPhoto and versions of the OS have gotten out of sync over the years. So it may not be just as easy as that. But the good news is, if you right click on any photo library, this is a little bit advanced, but it is a workaround. If you right click on
Okay.
any photo library on the Mac, you can choose show package contents. And what that does is it's a little bit advanced, but it opens up the container that the app has created and allows you to reach into the folders and look at the masters. So if you're dealing with a relatively small amount of photos, then that's an easy way to retrieve them out of a library without having to actually go through the import process, which isn't recommended in my opinion. Like Apple's migration process for photos is a little bit sticky or can cause some peril sometimes. So I can help you with that. Like I could share screens with you and take control and go and retrieve those photos you want and pull them out of the package that they're contained in. That might be the most straightforward way, because I'd hate for you to try to search for like an older Mac and then it's not the same file. It doesn't read it because it's either too old or the Photos app and the OS are out of sync. So if it isn't thousands of photos, it's probably easier to just go in and get those package contents and get the photos out that you need. Yeah.
Wow, that would be wonderful.
You want to try it, right click on the file and say show package contents.
It's not on my little, it's on another.
I see. Yep.
So.
Yeah, well, it could be an easy
maybe
fix.
I could go work on that and get back to you before the end of the meeting.
Sure.
But I guess something.
All right. Barbara Moore.
Yeah, can you explain, Al or Pete? I thought there was only one photo library, so I'm confused about how you can have
Well,
multiple libraries.
Yeah, I can explain that.
Go ahead, Pete.
The system only recognizes one at a time. So you can have several, but you designate one as the system library. Now, why is Apple making us designate one? Well, because one library has to be what iCloud looks at as your main library. iCloud can't keep track of several libraries. So what you're doing on your Mac is you're designating one library as your main macOS library. And then the other libraries that you might have stored on your Mac are not recognized by the Mac as libraries until you invoke them. To do that, and here this whenever I share this with clients, I often get a call a week or two later saying, "You told me to change something, and now I can't change it back." So let me tell you what the steps are, and don't do them right now. But if you hold the Option key on your keyboard when you launch the Photos app on your Mac, a new dialog box pops up that says, "Would you like to choose another library to open, or would you like to create a whole new one?" Apple kind of hides that feature. I'm not 100% sure why. They hide that, maybe to protect us from ourselves, right? So we don't have sprawling number of libraries. But yes, if you hold your Option key on your keyboard, launch Photos, a new dialog box comes up allowing you to plug in a different library. And it'll ask you, would you like to make this your Mac OS's main system library or your iCloud's main system library? And you can say yes or no at that point. So yeah, that's a little bit advanced. Not a lot of people traverse between libraries, but a good use case example would be I had a client who had a photography business and had her own photos and said, "Hey, I don't like my chocolate and my peanut butter all mixed up. I want them separated." So we were able to set up a work library where she's able to hold the Option key and launch Photos, and it will give her the option to choose between libraries. And so it's just a little bit of a workaround, but.
All righty. And Harmon. Harmon, you're up next.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of generic printer driver that you can use when the modern OS doesn't support the old driver.
Oh.
Yeah, there are some third-party companies out there claiming to have universal print drivers and stuff. I have never seen any of them work reliably. The big problem is that if the driver doesn't come from either the manufacturer or Apple, it's perilous, you know. But it's not plug and play. Is that what you're saying? Is the printer quite old? Is that what maybe the issue is?
Well, the Mac that has the driver that works is very old. I didn't think that the HP color laser printer was that old, but I can't.
Well, some of them are 30 years old. Some of them are 30 years old, the HP laser printers. So is it 10 years old? I mean, let me just ask, is the printer 10 years?
Yeah, I would say 10 or 12.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can hook it up to the old Mac and print off of that, but I was hoping to hook it up to a newer Mac, but I can always hook it up to the old one.
Yeah. Yep. Highly unlikely that you'll be able to get that to work with modern OSs, just because at some point companies have to abandon keeping up with that software. Otherwise, they would never be able to sort of move forward. They have to go, okay, if it's past this date, we don't support it anymore. We don't build drivers. And so unfortunately, that's a side effect of aging technology. But yeah, it's probably the case is that because Apple does us a favor by building drivers for all current printers. And I do mean does us a favor. They build the drivers so we can buy a printer from Staples, plug it in, and it just works. But you know, a 10-year-old printer, at some point, somebody stopped supporting it. Either Apple stopped writing drivers for it, or the company, said HP, probably stopped updating the drivers.
So in a way, I'm lucky I've got
You still have the old Mac.
Mac out in the other building that I can hook it to.
Yes.
Printers are pretty inexpensive these days. I mean, they're just about giving the printers away. It's the consumables that they make their money on.
Yeah.
But let me just say this. I think HP's kind of lost their mind, but they have a subscription service now. And it's $3 a month for pretty much, you can print about as much as you want. That's $36 a year, I think. $3 a month. You no longer have to go to the store to buy cartridges. You simply print as much as you want, and then for that $4, I think it's 50 pages a month that you get for that $4, and you can roll over things that you don't print. So for about 36 bucks a year or so, you can now print pretty much as you want. The reason I say pretty much, because my daughter will come home from college and say, I have a 100-page thing to print. I'm like,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah.
But luckily, the Instant Ink subscription program will just charge me for a new block of pages to print, and it's inexpensive. You know, I think it's 10 more pages for $1 or something if I go over my limit, or if I've banked print pages from last month, I can use those. And the price of the printers are $69, $79. You can get an Instant Ink printer for, like Al was saying, they're inexpensive, $100. And those and that with the Instant Ink subscription really helps keep costs way down. In fact, there's a plan for $1 a month. I think that is, I think it's a 5-page plan. I'll have to look it up. But gone are the days of going to Staples or Office Max and spending $100 on cartridges. You just don't have to do it anymore. The Instant Ink subscription. And I'll be quiet now and let those who have an Instant Ink subscription speak up, because of all the subscriptions you own, I know that's one you ain't gonna give up anytime soon. That $3 a month opens a lot of doors for you to print as much as you. Yeah.
I'll speak up for you, Pete.
Oh, there you go, Bob.
I did well, Pete already knows this, but I've been subscribed to that for maybe 6, 7, 8 years now.
Wow.
And
Almost a
I did
decade.
a 3-year sample comparing to the store prices. And I figured I saved like $120 over that 3-year period by subscribing.
Yeah. There's your testimonial.
And now HP has moved to another model called Smart Tank. And the Smart Tank comes with bottle. It's like a water bottle, but it's all ink. And then you squeeze it in the printer when you need new ink.
Oh, wow.
And you basically get 2 years of ink in the box. And so that's a one-time purchase with no subscriptions. However, the cost up front is a little bit higher. I think you'll pay $300 for that printer, but you've got 2 years of ink and don't have to worry about a subscription. So look, we lived through the era of ridiculous prices for ink. I think I heard something like ink for a printer was more than the finest caviar. Like the pound for pound was priced at higher than gasoline, you know, all the things we use. So it's like those days turned us all off, I think. I was turned off anyway. My mother used to yell at me, don't touch the printer because it's expensive when you print. But now it's sort of like they fixed that. I think that it's balanced out. Consumers started to go away and they said, oh, shoot, we got to get them back. So they really changed things. So if you were shied away from printing because, oh, it was really expensive, take another look. And if you need any guidance or have questions, you can always contact me. I'll make sure you get into the right device, printer, and the right plan for you too. I'm happy to help if you need it.
Carol, you had your hand up there for a while. Carol Becker, did you get your question answered?
No, I have a different kind of a question.
I like those.
It's not a techie question. I know I've missed a few meetings, but my husband and I, we used to do the coffee.
Oh, yes, we know. I know you are.
I have
Oh,
a closet
absolutely.
full of supplies here.
Oh,
And I was just wondering, are we never going to go back to that kind of a meeting? Can I somehow get rid of what I got?
who wants to speak on that? Bob, what are you thinking?
I didn't know she still had this.
Yeah.
I have the machines and all the stuff that goes with it.
On the other stuff, we said donate it, right? To a good cause.
I thought we did, but I'm not sure.
So.
Well, I must have missed that. I mean, I've been meaning to ask this question.
Well, it wouldn't have been you that missed it. It would have been whoever was supposed to tell you that missed it.
Missed it, yeah.
So it's okay to kind of get rid of some of that? Should I keep the machines or?
As far as I'm concerned, it's up to you.
Okay,
yeah, if you want them,
I can have my closet back.
That's like I still have the purple Mac
Okay.
in my garage and a couple
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
We, like I have a really old, this little tiny Mac, the little one
Oh, yeah.
that we used to use for triage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
It still works, by the way.
Really?
Hey,
Oh,
Great.
maybe that's
hey,
Donna's solution.
Ah, there you go.
I don't know what system's on it, but
All right. Are you good with that, Carol? We're good. I'm thinking that's official. The word on the street. Very well. Are there any other questions, or we'll let Pete get on his romp?
You want to do my segment, or you want to?
Oh,
Pete, you got
forgive
an
me,
hour?
Al. Forgive me, Al.
No, it's if we run into Pete stuff, it's quarter till. I'm happy giving it all up.
No, I'm
All
I'm
good
excited about your segment, Al. That's what I'm here
Okay.
for.
because. Alrighty here. Let's see here for.
Your
Yeah, he
co-host,
did get
Dr. Al.
course practicing, so we got to listen.
Let's see here.
Okay. Oh, you already were probably. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Rock.
Okay, everyone can everybody see the big screen? Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, but we
I
also see
see.
your presenter notes. Oh, you got to swap them out.
Crap.
You got
Well,
yeah,
well, I
just
don't
swap.
want to do that. We'll have to do something else. I don't know why these presenter notes here. Okay.
There you go. Perfect. And there we
There
are.
we are.
All right. Now I've lost my notes.
I was worried
How is
about
that
that when you
possible?
were
I've got
doing
too
that.
many
Yeah.
screens here. Okay, I'm gonna have to give me a minute here. This problem did not present itself here. Okay, here.
There we are.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this share here momentarily.
Okay.
I lost my screen here. Okay. Uh, nah, not that won't work either.
Oh, it's running.
Here, let me stop this share.
Okay.
Share. Practice this all day, and it did
Hey,
not give me this issue.
I can attest. You know the issues we went through, and I sat down and thought I was prepared with the background and all. So it's a Murphy.
Oh, this is not good. Okay. Well, see, I have all these screens moving here. When I switch them. Okay. All right. Can you see the big screen?
I'm not seeing it. Is anyone seeing it? Did you share us again?
Okay. Let me do something else here.
Let's let Pete start.
No, this is like when Tesla did their demo. Just you rehearse it, and then whenever you're live, whatever was going to go wrong is going to go wrong. It just
Gremlins, yes.
Gremlins. I can't tell you how many presentations I've done where it's like I've done this 1,000 times. What's going on? Yeah.
Okay. Are you seeing the big screen? What are you seeing?
No share from you at all.
No
I think
share.
you may have to reshare.
Okay. Let me reach. Oh, this is a nuisance here. So describe to me what you're seeing.
I'm seeing your two. I
seeing
see one of
31
your
people.
screen.
Yeah, still no share, Al.
Yeah, no share. I see
Okay.
your screen and just our normal grid for me at least.
Okay, here. All right. Get this stuff here set up.
One thing that's different that might be worth mentioning, Al, is before we were seeing two of you.
Right.
Now we're only seeing one of you.
Yeah. Well, I thought
took down one of his screens, I think. Al has,
Ah,
okay, we're getting the signal that you're sharing. And now there you are.
You got the big one. So, somehow when I had my laptop in the loop, I didn't have it. It thinks it's one of the other screens. Instead of 4, I had 5 screens. So
Ah,
you can move them around. Anyway, uh, let me start from, okay. Um, here we go. Uh, Again, sorry about the snafu here, guys, but welcome to the Apple Tech News and Rumors segment. Um, See, first up on October 30th, Apple released its Q4 2025 earnings report. Financial metrics include a revenue of $102.47 billion. That's up 8% year over year. The net income was 27.47 billion. The annual revenue for the fiscal year was $416 billion. Services reached an all-time high, showing increased importance of Apple's ecosystem beyond the hardware. The Mac business saw a strong rebound, while iPad and wearables and home categories were a bit more modest. Apple's installed base of active devices across all product categories and geographies also reached an all-time high. The strong Q4 performance caps off a record fiscal year for Apple, and with the refreshed product line, services strength, Apple's entering the holiday quarter with some momentum. For a more detailed look at the current and historic view of Apple's future financial picture, I always recommend to go to Jason Snell's report at Six Colors website. It comes with a multitude of graphs and charts to illustrate recent trends relative to historic performance. He does a great job. He's come to talk to us like 7 times here at MacNexus. Next big thing is Apple became the 3rd company in history to be valued at $4 trillion. It joins AI giant NVIDIA and Microsoft as the only firms to reach that milestone. Apple shares surged since unveiling its latest line of iPhones. As of yesterday, it slipped back down below the 4 trillion mark, but still a pretty mind-boggling accomplishment. On November 3rd, iOS 26.1 arrived. If you're not a fan of the new iOS aesthetic, you'll be happy to know one of the new changes in iOS 26.1 is a new liquid glass transparency toggle. If you navigate to it on an iPhone or an iPad, go to the settings and then hit the display brightness, and there you see a new setting labeled liquid glass. On the Mac, it's located in the appearance menu within the system settings app. Apple only offers 2 preset options, the clear and the tinted. Clear is more transparent, revealing the content underneath. The tinted increases opacity and adds more contrast. The clear look is the default appearance of liquid glass, while the tinted option makes user interface elements more opaque. The effects of the toggle are visible throughout the operating system and in areas like Control Center and Notification Center, Dock, and more. A few other features in iOS 26.1. The lock screen camera switch, you can finally turn off swipe to open camera on the lock screen. In the alarms, there's a new slide to stop screen to prevent accidental dismissals. Timers use it too. There's an Apple TV rebrand. A little bit more on that on a later slide. In Apple Music, you can swipe left or right on the now playing bar to skip or go back. Apple Intelligence has added 8 new languages. The AirPods Live Translation has added 5 new languages. And there's a new enhancement to local capture. It offers new settings to change saved location and record only, as well as gain controls for connected mics. Let me take a... next up, when Apple launched its streaming service back in 2019, it was branded with a plus at the end as a way to differentiate it from the existing Apple TV app. However, on Monday, October 13th, Apple announced it's rebranding Apple TV Plus to simply Apple TV. The first signs of this rebranding can be seen in the latest iOS 26.1. In addition to a new logo, Apple debuted a new intro video for the Apple TV content. The short piece now plays before shows and films, and as part of the rebrand from Apple TV Plus to Apple TV across the app, the website, and iOS 26.1. Here's a comparison of the old and new Apple TV intros if you haven't already heard them. Didn't play at all. Next up, Apple announced that iPhone users can now create a digital ID in their Apple Wallet based on information from their U.S. passport. To create and present a digital ID based on a U.S. passport, you need the following. You'll need an iPhone 11 or later running iOS 26.1 or later, or an Apple Watch Series 6 or later running Apple WatchOS 26.1 or later. You'll need a Face ID or Touch ID and Bluetooth turned on. You'll also need an Apple account with two-factor authentication turned on. Obviously, you'll need a valid U.S. passport that is not expired. And your device region needs to be set to the United States. At launch, Apple said digital IDs are accepted at TSA checkpoints at more than 250 airports in the U.S. But the company said the feature is still in public beta, so it's still a work in progress. Digital IDs on existing driver's license feature in the wallet. The digital ID builds on the existing driver's license feature in the Apple Wallet, which is currently available in 12 U.S. states, as well as the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. California is one of those states with a pilot program in place. Here is the look of the Golden State digital license in your Apple Wallet if you set it up like I did. Here's what the California digital driver's license looks like in your Apple Wallet, starting from left to right. On the left, we have at the top, you'll have a California driver's license at the top of your wallet. If you tap that, and it'll take you to the second panel, and the graphic with your name there from the California DMV. If you tap the I in the upper right-hand corner, it takes you to a California State ID panel. If you tap the chevron there next to the card information, and then after face scanned, your picture and card information is displayed. There's more than one single screen full, so you'll have to scroll down to see all the information that the page displays. Just an FYI, all these screenshots were from my phone. While my info was displayed, the app will not show the fields if you attempt to do a screenshot. This is why they're blank. I assume it's a fraud prevention measure. Also, if you hit learn more about using your ID in the third panel, it takes you to a useful Apple support document.
Al, this is Lisa.
Yeah.
Does the driver's license work in the Apple Wallet? Does that work with both what I'll call the legacy driver's license and the real ID driver's license?
Yeah, we're in the transitional period, and you probably you best advise to have the traditional hard copy of it. You need you'll need to have as part of the setup process. You'll need to have your traditional driver's license. It takes a picture to the setup process also involves you actually moving your face around and opening your mouth and stuff so that it knows it's a human being that's it's being authenticated. And so they're using essentially all of the LiDAR and all the ID technologies that are inherent in your iPhone to validate that you are who you are.
But it doesn't. It would allow you if you haven't gone for your real ID yet. if you still have the old standard driver's license.
Yeah.
Still
And,
be able to
and-
make it digital.
in that third panel that I showed you here, let me show you here. Let me see here. In that the fourth card over, where it says card information,
Right.
it's like 2 pages of information, and on the second page there's it asks whether this is a real ID or not, and yes, there's a
Okay.
yes or no answer on there.
Cool.
So
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, pretty good. If you oops, let's see here. Did I screw something up? Okay. Okay, let me move on here. Now, if you want a really good primer on the digital ID versus a driver's license at Apple Wallet, I'd refer you to this article here. It's detailed primer on the two main digital identification options in the Apple Wallet. Check out this article in Mac Observer. You'll see the URL up there on the screen, and I believe I posted it in the chat. While both are stored on the device and protected by Apple's hardware-level encryption, the digital ID enjoys a more rigorous verification steps, making it a safer option overall. But the driver's license has important use cases too. So it'd be best to have both of them in this transitional period. Because we have 50 states, and every state's wants to develop its own. Different states are at different levels and different points in the evolution of their own digital driver's license. So this digital ID, if you have a passport, it's pretty valuable to be able to have that. Next up, Apple's launched a major redesign of their web interface for the App Store at apps.apple.com. The site now offers a full App Store experience directly in a browser, not just marketing content. It includes dedicated browsing sections for the iPhone, iPad, Mac, Vision Pro, the Apple Watch, and Apple TV apps. It adds a web version of the Today tab with stories, app highlights, special events, and top charts. The app product pages now feature richer visuals, improved layout, and icons for awards, categories, and events. There's also a new search tool that makes finding specific apps easier, thus eliminating the need to use Google to locate listings. Users can switch between app stores from each platform using a toggle in the upper left-hand corner. This reflects Apple's goal to unify App Store experience across all devices and browsers. Apple is reportedly finalizing an agreement to use a customized version of Google's Gemini AI model with approximately 1.2 trillion parameters to power parts of Siri. The annual cost for this access is reportedly $1 billion per year. Under the deal, Google's model will handle Siri's summarizer and planner functions. Apple will continue using its in-house models for other Siri functions. The Gemini model for Apple is expected to run on Apple's infrastructure to maintain data control and privacy rather than handling user data directly to Google. Despite this partnership, Apple still intends to develop its own large-scale AI model and views this as a stopgap. It has ambitions for a cloud-based model with approximately 1 trillion parameters in-house. The rollout of the revamped Siri with this Gemini support is expected next spring, 2026. One interpretation of this development is that it marks a move, a strategic pivot for Apple, recognizing a gap in its AI assistant capability and choosing to partner rather than solely rely on internal development. As a sidebar, for the sake of comparing size and performance, think of parameters as adjustable knobs inside the model that determine how it reacts to input data and produces an output. As stated earlier, Google's Gemini AI model has 1.2 trillion parameters. Apple's in-house cloud-based model currently has 150 billion parameters. Now, Apple's local model, which was made with on-device performance in mind rather than raw power and size, has a mere 3 billion parameters. As we said earlier, Apple's models team is working on a 1 trillion parameter cloud-based model that it hopes to have ready for consumer applications next year.
This is why they've started measuring things in TOPS, TOPS, trillions of operations per second, because of all these parameters that are.
There's a rumor that a new Apple TV 4K will be forthcoming. Features for the new devices include an A17 Pro chip, upgrading from the A15 Bionic to support more demanding software, specifically AI and gaming. It'll include Apple Intelligence support, of course. It will have Apple's new N1 wireless chip that integrates Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Thread for better connectivity, and similar to newer iPhones. The wild card is a possible built-in center stage camera. It's rumored to addition to FaceTime and gesture controls, enabling video calls without needing an external device. This was mentioned by Pete in the first Saturday workshop, but it's worth mentioning again. Affinity by Seraph announced its complete creative suite is now free for all Mac users. The new Affinity all-in-one app merges Affinity Photo, Designer, and Publisher into a single unified application. It's no longer subscription-based or paid. Seraph says the move is intended to broaden access and to compete directly with Adobe's Creative Cloud dominance. The app supports Mac OS Tahoe, that's Mac OS 26, and it's optimized for Apple Silicon. iPad users will receive the same combined app with feature parity to the Mac version. Existing Affinity users can import previous licenses and projects seamlessly into the new platform. Seraph claims it will continue to fund development via enterprise licensing and cloud collaboration tools rather than the individual purchases. The update also introduces real-time collaboration, non-destructive editing across disciplines, and native Apple Pencil 2 support on an iPad. Pete, you want to chime in on this at all? I guess not. Must have stepped away.
No, I was trying to find the mute button. In fact, I'm going to open my segment with a bit of Affinity since we're doing Canva. So
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Excellent. For the 13th year running, Apple has topped Interbrand's Best Global Brands ranking, which measures companies by value, influence, and brand strength. 13 years. It's pretty impressive. Next up, it's not the best known or most publicized feature of the Apple Watch Ultra, but every model to date has come with an 86 decibels siren alarm. Apple designed it to start blasting out either when the user turns it on or, as in this case, when they are incapacitated and the Apple Watch Ultra's depth sensor determines there's a problem. In this case, a scuba diver from Mumbai credits his Apple Watch Ultra for saving his life when he experienced an uncontrolled ascent to the surface while diving. At around 36 meters deep, his weight belt apparently came loose and sent him rising rapidly in poor visibility and with choppy water overhead. His watch detected the rapid ascent via its depth sensor and displayed a warning to slow down. And when he didn't respond, it triggered its built-in siren alarm. This alerted his instructor, who intervened and prevented a potentially fatal outcome. The incident underscores how wearables can play a critical role in safety during extreme activities. Another win for the Apple Tech. And finally tonight, not necessarily a tech story, but on October 15th, 2025, the United States Mint released the designs for the 2026 American Innovation $1 coin program. The 2026 designs honor innovations and or innovators from Iowa, Wisconsin, California, and Minnesota. The Mint works with the Office of the Governor and or other chief executive for the state or territory or city, along with subject matter experts to determine design concepts emblematic of innovation that are significant and meaningful to its jurisdiction or its role in the nation. The Secretary of the Treasury selects the final design for each coin. The California design presents a young Steve Jobs sitting in front of a quintessential Northern California landscape of oak-covered rolling hills. His posture and expression as he is captured in a moment of reflection.
Why did they put shoes on him?
I have no idea. I think it's kind of an odd one, but
Yeah.
the inscriptions are United States of America and California, and the additional inscriptions are Steve Jobs and Make Something Wonderful. All the links generated tonight will be distributed in a PDF by Bob White in his normal MacNexus email blast. I will post it sooner on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is a great forum for late-breaking curated Apple tech news and support, and we encourage everyone to come out and check it out. Back to you, Thomas and Pete.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you. Sorry about the snafu at the beginning. Always gremlins to work out.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I look forward to that all month. Yep.
Pete, I'm sorry, this is Lisa. If I could interrupt
okay.
for a moment.
Yeah, of course.
Really important stuff, otherwise I wouldn't do it. It's the door prize drawing. I've got a Jonathan listed, and I have an RH iPhone 17 listed. I need more information than that for you to be part of the drawing. So
yeah,
and
if you want to be eligible.
And Carol without a last name.
yeah, I think that's Carol Duke.
She got on. Good.
So anyway, sorry, Pete. Thank you.
No problem at all, Mary. Thank you. Lisa, okay, well, thank you, Al. It's like the highlight of my month. I love to see your current events. It's always so thorough, and you really dig into the nuggets that are most interesting. So I love that. Thank you.
All your keynote lessons, Pete. All your keynote lessons.
I see them in there. I see the alpha channels and stuff. Yeah. I think I see you. I see you. Yeah, great job, and really informative. I learned a couple things I did not know, especially the forthcoming Apple TV rumor. I wasn't tracking with that one, so I'm excited. For $150, the Apple TV is like just an incredible value for what you get. But we are not here to talk about Apple TV tonight. We are talking about Canva. Let's talk about what Canva is and what Canva isn't. But first, let's talk about why not to use Canva. Let's talk about reasons why you don't have to before we get into Canva. And I just like to start there because it really depends on what, like, you can get yourself into a rabbit hole if you just have a simple project to do by opening Canva. Canva is a lot. It's a page layout program, but there's a lot going on, which you'll see in a moment. I'm going to demo Canva. We're going to walk through it, but there's a lot going on. So the first thing I'd say about using Canva is don't use it unless you feel that you have a need to. Well, what would I use if I don't use Canva? I think the page layout tools in the Keynote application are incredible. They're very easy to use, especially since they're written by Apple. They're very easy to use. You can customize your canvas size. I know that Keynote launches with a slide, the 16:9 rectangle slide size, but you can change that to 8.5 by 11 page size if you wanted to. So Keynote is probably enough, and at this point I get this question a lot, like, Pete, what about Pages though? Why are you advising us to fit a square peg into a round hole? Like, how come we don't just use Pages? Pages is a page layout program. Keynote is more of a slide layout program. Well, the reason that I think Keynote makes a better canvas for a page layout project, not a project that's text heavy, but a page layout project, maybe a flyer for the church picnic or something. A page layout project is better served in Keynote because Pages has this word processing gutter running right through the middle of it. Because that's its strength, is word processing, not necessarily page layout. And that word processing gutter that runs right through the middle of the page trips up all my clients. They want to move things around the page, but then suddenly they see that flashing cursor that says, we're in the text area now. You're not in page layout anymore. And that can be confusing. You really want to be confused, try using Microsoft Word to lay out a page. You ever tried to move a photo from the top to the bottom and everything disappears? It's really a tough one. But the reason I like Keynote over Pages is because there's no word processing gutter in the middle of the page that's going to steal your cursor and confuse you. Keynote is just page layout. The objects you put on there, whether they're text boxes or images, can be moved around, and you have a lot of freedom in Keynote. And it's designed by Apple, so it's intuitive, and you likely already know some of the controls. So my first caution in getting into this is talk yourself out of Canva if possible, because once you get into Canva, it is overwhelming. That's just the way they built it. It's overwhelming. It's just, so try not to use Canva if you don't have to, but let's talk about why we would use Canva if we wanted to. And let's talk about first what Canva is not. Canva is not a full vector editing suite. Canva is on Rails. Okay. Yes, it is advanced and you have plenty of advanced capabilities, but at the end of the day, it is on Rails. You are locked into what Canva advises in a way. Now, I have seen people like my wife, who is not an advanced technology person, and I guess they say opposites attract. She is not an advanced technology person. But for her needs, when she wants to knock something out, like let's say our family Christmas card, Canva is her go-to. I've seen her use it, and she's got enough skill now where she can navigate the overwhelming interface. But at first, it was very difficult to get there. That's just, it's not a vector editor. You're on Rails, right? It is templates, basically. It's a series of templates that Canva provides for you. Now, if you're the type who only uses a process like this occasionally, like let's say the church picnic rolls around once a year and you're on the hook for making the flyer for the church picnic, then you will go crazy trying to use Canva if you're only using it once a year, because it is difficult. It's overwhelming. There's a lot of features and there's a lot of things pulling at you. If you use it weekly or daily, though, you will gain the knowledge and the skill of how it's laid out, but you are learning a whole new convention. Canva is not made to be simple necessarily. It's made to be capable. So if you've tried Canva, you may have gotten in, gotten lost, and gotten out. And stay out if you want to, because you don't have to be in there. Now, what is Canva? I have some notes here. Let me glance over here. It is a template-driven design platform. A template-driven design platform, meaning that if there's something in there that matches your needs, then voila, you select it and start editing. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. It is a drag and drop visual creation tool. It isn't for people who like to get down to the pixel level of things and have full control. You will cede a lot of control to Canva if you choose to use it. It is cross-device and cloud-based. And by the way, a little pro tip, anytime you hear cloud-based, it means it's a website that we turned into an app. So Canva is indeed all handled on the web. Even if you download the Canva app on your iPad, it's still just a web page. And then the app just plugs you into that web page automatically instead of going there. So all of it's cloud-based and all of it's handled on Canva's servers. None of it's handled on your device processing-wise. Visually, everything's handled on your device, but all the processing is sort of taking place on Canva's servers because it's a cloud-based system. What's nice about the cloud-based system is that all of your devices will sync, and so you can view your Canva projects on your phone, your iPad, your Mac, and it's convenient to have all of them synced up, and you don't have to worry about external folders and all that. And it's a fast way to create polished looking assets without being a designer. The designers at Canva have done all the hard work for you. Now you just go in, choose what they've worked on, and then make it your own by customizing the text and colors and things like that. We'll take a tour of the interface here in a moment, but I do want to also mention a few things that were included in Al's current events there. The company who makes Affinity, Al said it, their name is Serif. They're sort of the Adobe of the UK. Serif is the Adobe of the UK, basically. Adobe's an American company based in Palo Alto. Serif is a company based in the United Kingdom. However, they have completely differing points of view. Adobe wants every dime you have, and Serif does not. Serif has built a bundle to compete with Adobe, and that is the Affinity bundle. It used to be kind of confusing because there were 3 apps in there. In the Affinity bundle, they've reduced it down to 1, and they've made it free. Now, I scratched my head at first because I've paid for every version of Affinity so far. So I was like, wait a minute, how come it's free now? Are you going to strip out all the good stuff? And no, surprisingly, they did not strip out anything. In fact, they enhanced it and made it better. But what they blocked you from are AI features. So here you have Affinity now, simplified, improved with new AI features that you can't use unless you pay. So it's free until you reach the point where you'd like to use AI features. And then they say if you get a Canva Pro subscription, you will unlock Affinity. So if you already have a Canva Pro subscription, you not only can get Affinity for all of its free features, but you can take advantage of all of its AI features that are paid if you have a Canva Pro account. Because I want to support Affinity. Now, you guys always hear me say that if businesses aren't treating you well, take your money and go elsewhere. You rarely hear me say the opposite, which I firmly believe, and that is if companies are treating you well, open your wallet and dump it on their table because you want more companies like that. So Affinity said, hey, you get this for free, but if you buy Canva Pro, you get the advanced features. I bought Canva Pro like that. It cost me about $129 for an entire year subscription, paid all up at once. And I was happy to send my money to them because they've honored me as a user over the decade that I've used them. Incredible company, incredible software. I'd like to just show you what they've done to simplify it. And there may be a shameless plug there as well, but hey, here we go. I'm going to open up Affinity here and just zoom out a little bit. And here's a design I've been working on recently. Look at that, right there inside Affinity. Empower Tech Labs is logo that I created, and this is a vector level creation, meaning I have full control over everything about this thing. I had to place every pixel you see here, and nobody helped. There were no templates or anything like that. So this is the advanced level that you can get with a tool like Affinity. Every pixel, every vector, everything you place on the canvas is manual. There are no helpers here. However, it is really for those who need some more advanced capabilities. This is an incredible piece of software. I'll only go over the one improvement that I think is the coolest, and then we'll move on from it. But I highly recommend, if you haven't already, download the Affinity app by Serif. And the icon is that green A. That's a green box with an A in it. And you will be quite happy if you are a Photoshop or an Adobe Illustrator type of person that you like to tinker with those things. What they've done here is build all of those capabilities into one application. So if you look up here in the upper left, there is a menu like this. I'll just enlarge it so it's easier for you to see. But right now I'm in Vector, but I can choose Pixel, which is the Photoshop competitor, right? So I have the Adobe Illustrator competitor, which is Vector. This is me crushing Adobe Illustrator, never giving Adobe a dime of my money again. This is Pixel. This means that this is the Photoshop competitor. This is me never giving Adobe my money and giving it to these guys. And this is Layout. This would be Adobe InDesign competitor. This is a publishing and page layout tool that has industry standards. If you are somebody who publishes, 17-page newsletters or something like that and are currently using like Adobe InDesign, this is your replacement here. And then the fourth tab over is Canva AI. This will be grayed out if you are a free user, but if you get that Canva Pro subscription, these AI features will be available to you. And the AI features are pretty darn cool. You can basically generate anything you want. You can tell the AI, I need a photo of a polar bear, in a snowstorm, and AI will get that made up for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave the Affinity bundle now. This is the free bundle that you can all download and use up until AI. If you want the AI features, you got to have Canva Pro. And I'm going to flip over to Canva. And here is Canva.
Pete?
Go ahead. If there's questions, just holler. I'm
No,
happy
I got a quick question. So Canva and Affinity are one. Am I correct?
Canva acquired Affinity. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
gotcha.
I buried the lead there. I should have probably led with that. But yeah, Canva acquired Affinity fairly recently, I think about a year ago, and now they've brought them under the banner of Canva, still having their separate identity as Affinity, but they have the Canva features, as you can see, built in there. So it's a great partnership and has worked out great for us users so far. Now I'm going to get into Canva here, and at the top you can see watch the Canva keynote. And Al, if you can find the link to the latest Canva keynote, that would be great to throw in. That would be great to throw in the chat, because they're going to reveal a lot of features on that stage, and they rehearse that for months. They really get you excited. So if you are interested in Canva's new features and you want to see it, their best marketing effort to impress you, watch that keynote. It's very fun to watch and interesting what is now available to us as Canva users. Now you can see I am on the Canva website, because that's how Canva exists. Now you might ask, why aren't you using the app? Well, the website and the app are the same thing. I'm just opting for the website here. The app is available, but I'm just choosing to go on the web. You may wonder, well, are there advantages to one over the other? And the answer is not necessarily. I mean, the app may be optimized for touch or different things that the company has invested in, but it's really just a window into the website. So the Canva app, yes, it's good. But if you want to access Canva from the web, easy as well, just like this. Let's see, a tour of the interface. Here we are in the Home tab here, and the Home tab is where you can, start your journey. What I'm seeing here in the Home tab, and by the way, the nav bar will stay on the left. It'll always be there. You have either the quick icons that are visible, but there is a hamburger menu. Anybody know why they call it a hamburger menu? There's a hamburger menu here that you can reveal. And then there is also a More tab down here, so with more tools in it. But that left sidebar is your nav. That's going to be your guide. And they call it a hamburger menu because it has a bun and meat and another bun. So it's like a hamburger. Us nerds like food references, I guess. But yeah, there's a hamburger menu there. And then you've got all these icons, which is basically Canva beckoning you to start your project. So if you want to make an email template, you can go here. A presentation, social media post, video, print, you can see. And if I enlarge this, will it break anything? No, I don't think it will. So for now, I'm just going to make that nice and large so we can see what all the options are. Yours won't look exactly like this. I've zoomed way in, so it's going to look a little different if you're following along, but this is where you start your project. This is where you buckle into the roller coaster and you put that shoulder or that lap bar down, and it's locked. You're basically going to do what Canva is capable of, but not really anything outside of that, because Canva is a template-driven utility. The search bar is kind of the true starting point. I have a little bit of search bar PTSD, because search for me search is rarely good. Search was rarely good, I should say, until AI came along. AI can now break down your request in the background. You don't even see it's happening, but it breaks down your request and it thinks about it. Whereas in the past, most search boxes that didn't have AI don't think about your request. It just is trying to find exactly what you're saying. And that's a terrible way to conduct search, because the whole reason we're searching is because we don't really know exactly what to look for, sometimes. So I think you'll find that Canva's AI is really good and will allow us to easily search for what we want. So you might just say church picnic flyer. For those of you who've known me for the 2 decades I've been around, the church picnic flyer is just my go-to. I always say that. I always say it. I don't know about a church or I don't know about a picnic, but it just seems like a good thing to connect with in your mind. Like, okay, it's a once a year thing. I got to make a flyer or whatever. So it's just kind of my go-to example of like a church picnic flyer. But I'm just going to type that in here. Oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I was on the wrong tab. As you can see here, before you search, you have to choose whether you're looking through your projects that you already have, going, which you would find here in the projects tab on the left. Or are you looking through templates, or do you want Canva AI to make something for you? So you have those 3 choices. If you're not a Canva Pro user, you will not have access to Canva AI. I think they reserve AI for their pro users only. But I put in church picnic under templates, and look at that. I would say, I would venture to say that this is a lot of church picnic offerings here. In fact, it keeps scrolling. Look at this. And so the likelihood of you finding something you like here is very high. I mean, come on, I already see 5 of them that I think are great. So you mean to tell me I can just click on it and then edit it? That's really what Canva is for. That person who, okay, I got stuck making the flyer for the church picnic again. So you could just go right to Canva, type it in under templates, church picnic, and here we go. So let's pick one and we'll edit it. Yeah, we'll edit it. But before we dive into that, I want to traverse a little bit more. I want to be conscious of time. So we will get into the picnic flyer, but before we do, I want to point out a couple of things on the left there. One of them called brand. I really like this because Canva Pro will allow you to create your own brand kit. So if you are somebody who has a business that they're running, or the church has a certain logo and colors, fonts that they use, or whatever the case is, you can enter all that stuff in here. If I were that type of user, I would probably take the Empower Mac Tech presence or Empower Tech presence, and I would say, okay, here's the logo. Here are my colors. Here's the fonts I use. And then that way Canva can pull from this brand kit later, meaning that you can set up your brand once and Canva will utilize those things that you put in there. We've been talking about this for decades, where Mac OS Color Picker is where we used to put things like logos and stuff to try to keep our brand, consistent. But in Canva, it basically asks you up front. You want to put a logo, colors, font, brand voice, all the things you see here, and we will pull from that as we build your project. So if you do, great for small business. If you own a florist shop, you punch in all your stuff here, and then any type of advertisements you want to make, it's going to grab your logo, your colors, your fonts, and it's going to build that for you. So, good stuff there. So I just wanted to make sure I called that out. But back to our home tab here, where we were looking for that church picnic flyer. Let's see. Okay, and now I'm going to get in there and edit one. And so a couple things I want to show you after you've searched for something in Canva. You can favorite it, or there are some other options here. I'm just going to do customize this template. Preview is probably smart because preview will allow you a larger look, and it will tell you, what is editable. Give you a little bit more like this. Let's see. Oh, it's even soliciting you to print it and pay for some printing. So let's edit this. Let's edit this template here. So I'll go to customize because I blather a lot, but all we've really done is launch Canva, logged in, make sure we're logged in, and then use the search bar to find church picnic. And so here we are. I can easily select any of these elements and edit them. Earlier, I was saying that Canva is overwhelming, and it just, I don't think there's any way around that. It really is overwhelming. I am an expert in page layout and design, and Canva confuses the heck out of me. So I think it's really good for those who just want the quickest thing, but there's a learning curve here. It's simple but complex at the same time. So yes, you can go into these elements, you can edit them. Here I can double click and say, maybe I want to call this a barbecue instead. But here we have the limitation of templates. Look, I'm already messed up. All I wanted to do is change one word, and the formatting is messed up already. So to me, this is just, it won't do. For some of you, a template will work. Yes, we can go in here and we can expand things. And some of it's very intuitive. You can do it without being told, without instruction. So like that barbecue, it dropped to 2 lines. That isn't what I want. I want it to stay the same size, but have enough room to go across the whole page. To do that, it's pretty self-explanatory, but a fairly common layout utility is a handle. So I do see handles here, and if I widen out those handles, I should be able to get that word back where it belongs on one line there. So templates are deceptive to me. They beckon you in and say, hey, come on in and use this. It'll be easy. But the first word you change, it breaks. And now you have to be a mechanic as well as a driver, right? You have to now go, darn it, how do I fix that thing? And if you don't like this font, again, things are relatively intuitive in Canva, but not always. So I don't want this font. I'm looking here. I'm looking up here. I just don't see an easy way to change the font. Well, here it is all the way up here at the top, which that's fine. When I click it, I sure wish it would just open, but it doesn't. It opens up a side panel here. But this is what I mean by overwhelming. Everything you click is not exactly what you expect, and you have to maybe go to another panel to grab what you need. But like the example I used for my wife, she has enough experience now where these things don't slow her down anymore. She's done enough flyers or enough layouts that she knows that, okay, if I want to change the font, I know exactly what I have to do. The reason I like to repeat that anecdote is if you want to be a Canva user, there's a learning curve. And if you're going to have a learning curve, why don't you jump into Affinity and learn that? Because there's no rails in Affinity. You do what you want to do. Now, does that mean I won't have access to these templates and stuff? Kinda. I would challenge you to say you could find this stuff on the web. You could just search Google and say, show me a church picnic flyer. And then you could emulate that on your own without these rails. But let's continue a little bit here. This is one graphic here. I can grab it and move it around. That's pretty self-explanatory. Again, a pretty universal design language is handles. So I see handles in the 4 corners of this image. And I intuitively know that if I drag a handle, it's going to resize something. So there we have, fairly intuitive capabilities. Now I want to duplicate this to give the appearance that it's longer. So I was able to find some utilities here like the duplicate button. If you are a Canva Pro user, though, you have the Ask Canva, where you can say, please make this graphic larger. And those AI features will, let's see, it's thinking. And it's going to hopefully, upgrade my account. I'm a Canva Pro. You see, this is just another thing, like how irritating was that? I'm a Canva Pro user. I'm like, and now it's telling me that I have to upgrade. Again, I just paid for Canva Pro. So that's just a thing. I mean, look, you're in a website. You're not really designing on your own. You're in a website. It's templates. And I'm a Canva Pro, but they're asking me for more money. So these are the kind of things that I like to go to Affinity for, because then I don't have those things. But back to the utility of Canva, I'm going to exit this church picnic flyer and continue my tour around the interface here to talk about a few more things that might be critical. Yes, the church picnic flyer is good, but there are other things that are interesting here, like social media. I do have a lot of clients that say, I want an easy way to make social media posts, and I don't want it to just be pictures. I want some kind of frame. Now, Instagram has a bunch of that stuff built in. Facebook has a bunch of that stuff built in, but you can come here to social media and it's going to have lots of different templates for you to be able to post if you want to create yourself a Facebook background or, whatever these popular ones are up here at the top, a Facebook post. So if we go to it, it'll say, okay, here is your blank canvas for a Facebook post. What is it that you'd like to post on Facebook? So because I'm a Canva Pro user, I should be able to, unless they stop me again, say, describe your ideal design. I'm going to say, I don't know, Star Wars theme birthday post. I'm just going to say that and hit enter. And it looks like it can't probably use any copywritten, uses somebody else's intellectual property. Okay, another limitation of AI and Canva. So we'll have to use words that don't, I'll have to say sci-fi here because it's not going to let me invoke Star Wars. So if I hit generate design, this is what the AI features of Canva Pro get you, the ability to create your own things. If I didn't have Canva Pro, I would sort of be relegated to choose from these pre-made templates, and none of them are really looking sci-fi to me. But since I have the Pro account, look at that. I said a sci-fi themed birthday post. And this is where I can now either regenerate or just drag that over into my canvas and utilize it. And this is the start of my post now. And now I'm able to change things around, these handles are relatively intuitive. I can grab them and move these elements around. It's AI, so you get weird stuff. Like, what is that? Just says stars in there. I can use the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of that. I'm showing you this stuff just to give you an idea of the intuitive nature of Canva, but I still want to be honest about its limitations. So you get kind of the best of both worlds here. But once you are happy with this composition, you can easily save it as a project in Canva and come back to it. I do have a client who owns a floral shop, and she has a template like this and simply just comes back each month to do a new promotion and uses the same template. So an easy way to kind of get that consistent design and save it in here. Another problem, though, if we're being honest, is if she ever decides she doesn't want to pay for Canva Pro anymore, well, now she'll lose these capabilities. All the stuff that Canva has stored will go with Canva when you stop paying for it. So there are pros and cons, obviously, to being a Canva Pro user and really leaning into the Canva ecosystem. There are pros and cons to it. I'd say that Canva has a lot of utility in the way of obviously templates. If we go back to design here, obviously templates are something that Canva offers, but Canva also has elements. Here you can create different graphics and things. Maybe you want a sticker for this thing, maybe an element would be, you can just use the AI here in Elements to create something if you want. It's very much like Apple's Image Playground. You're just kind of telling it what you want and it's coming up with it. Text is another thing that I'll tell you both the convenience and the headache here. Canva has a bunch of fonts built in, so it makes it really convenient that you can come over here and add a text box and change the font to a lot of cool fonts that you can see here inside of Canva. But the problem is these aren't fonts that you can go take and use elsewhere in most cases. Most of them are proprietary. Now, Comic Sans, that's a universal font that you'd see in a lot of places, but not a lot of these are. So if you choose something like this, Lolita 1, as the font that you like, well, if you leave Canva, you may not get access to that font again. It could be that it is only accessible as a Canva user. So these are things that I just caution you as somebody who might be interested in Canva to consider. Learning curves are learning curves. You choose where those learning curves are going to take place. If you invest your learning curve time in Canva, you are compromising quite a bit, but you're gaining quite a bit at the same time. What you're compromising is portability and freedom. With Affinity over here, I can save these designs and they're not web-based. They're not on the cloud. If I quit paying for Affinity, it's not going to take my files away. Here, it is web-based. Everything's in the cloud. If you stop paying or delete your account, everything goes with it. So that's just full transparency. I like to make sure that you know the pros and cons because, and I've learned by experience, folks, I used to recommend Canva highly to people because of its strengths. But what I found was those people would come back to me almost always talking about its weaknesses. And so I dug into it and, sure enough, as you can see, just the screen we have before us is somewhat overwhelming. They build advertisements in to Canva. So it's a lot to ask a user to use the web-based version of Canva. This is why I love that they have the free option that is Affinity and those 3 apps in one that you can just click between and be able to use all those 3 apps without being tied into their ecosystem so tightly. And then it does have some magic features that are available. Things like removing background of an image and other things like that. It'll do things like remove background. It has a magic eraser. There's a resize tool, magic write. But I would argue that these are all things that can be found elsewhere. None of these are really exclusive to Canva. They're available elsewhere, like Apple's Image Playground. Even in the Photos, the new Photos app has a magic eraser in it where you can erase an element of a photo just by tapping on it or pull people out of the background easily. So while those tools might have been breathtaking 10 years ago, they're pretty much instantaneous on the devices we already have. And so some common mistakes and how to avoid them. Just some basic tips, and then I'll just turn it over for Q&A. Some basic tips is like, be careful about stretching photos and stuff. That's just something, it's a mistake that, people make. They want to enlarge a photo, but then they end up stretching it like silly putty. That's easy to do in Canva. Avoid overusing shadows and gradients. Shadows and gradients are something that Canva tends to build into everything, and it's very quickly can feel like you're overusing them if you listen to Canva. I wouldn't mix more than 2 fonts, even though Canva will allow you to do whatever you want in terms of mixing the number of fonts you have. I just try to keep it to 2. And then, be objective in your design. You can have empty space. Sometimes that padding is important. So lots of fun to be had in Canva. I want you to see both sides of it, that you're strapped into a roller coaster that you can't get out of. And that if you choose not to be a Canva user anymore, a lot of your files and projects will be locked away if you're a regular user. I have offered that you consider the free Affinity bundle with the 3 apps in one. As you can see up in the upper left corner there, I had that enlarged graphic where in this one app, once it's downloaded on your iPad or your Mac, I don't think the iPad version is out yet for this particular new one. The old one is, but the new one, I think they're still working on it. But there you see you have all 4 in one. You have the vector, pixel, layout, and AI tools with the paid subscription. I said a whole bunch, and so I want to pause. I'm happy to stick around and talk about any questions you might have. Oh, Al, I see that hand. Yes, what do you got? Oh, don't forget to unmute. That's the important bit.
Um, yeah, you're moving around with great facility on the screen. Um, I've used design tools online before, and there's always been some degree of latency depending on how well the thing's written. I have a pretty fast internet connection. Is there any issue with how immediate your their response is on the site when you make a design choice? Does it feel fairly immediate?
Yeah. No, I would say that's one of Canva's strengths is their coding is impeccable. There's a very little lag. The website does what it's supposed to. However, it's cluttered, especially like layering in Canva. It's hard to select the right layer sometimes if you get in trouble and you might have stacked things on top of each other. So I would say it's good at agility. It's coded very well. And then the interface does get a bit cluttered it's not hard to lose your way.
One other thing, when your creations and stuff, are you allowed to, when they're done, can you store them locally on your machine, or are they stored in the cloud?
That's a great question, and yeah, that is a nuanced question that it's very important that you understand the nuance of that question. So you do something in Canva and you're using Canva's engine, right? You're using Canva's engine, the layout, the fonts you're choosing, that's all Canva's engine. And when you're inside Canva using its engine, you're doing projects and you can save those projects inside the engine. But they can't be exported with the same capability of editing because exporting them takes them out of the Canva engine. So there is no way, because the Canva engine is proprietary, there's no way for you to save an editable project because the Canva engine is in the web. And so you can export your project in lots of different formats. Like, for instance, there's no rule against designing the flyer for the church picnic, exporting it as a PDF, and keeping that PDF local on your hard drive forever and ever. Or a PNG file or whatever you want. Canva has tons of export formats. But once you export that format, it's like ironing on a
It's
decal
flat.
to a shirt.
Yeah.
It's flat. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't peel the decal off. And so you are locked into Canva's engine if you ever want to go back in and edit that project. That's not unique to Canva. It's the same with things like iMovie, let's say, right? You can export stuff from iMovie, but once it's exported, you don't have all the utility you had when you were in iMovie, right? It's no longer an editable project. It's now a video that you've exported. Canva's the same. So yes, you can export all your designs in formats that you can save on your hard drive and keep forever. But if you ever said, okay, it's, the church picnic is rolling around again. Every year I make the flyer. If you didn't have the Canva engine, you couldn't just go in and edit the dates like you might want to. You would have to, you'd have to recreate it. So great question. I love that one. And I love that I got to say that nuance with my whole chest, because that's something that people misunderstand a lot. They're like, well, can I save it? And yes, you can, but you can't get access to that engine once it's saved out. So good
Understood.
question. Very good question. And then Donna, I did post a little something for you over there privately. So happy to communicate with you via email and get your problem solved there. It seems like it's going to be a quick one to knock out. I think I know exactly what needs to be done. So it'll be an easy.
Later, yes.
Yes.
At another time.
Yeah, just email me and we'll nail down a time.
Okay.
I'll give you some available time slots and stuff.
Thank you.
And I just see I'm seeing so many names. I just want to high five so many names in the crowd here. And a couple of the clients I've used as examples tonight are also on the call. So good to see them. Good. Any other questions? I didn't see any hands in the chat, but feel free to just come off mute and blurt it out if you want. I don't want to get in trouble with Thomas or anything, but yeah, just.
I've used Canva to I've
How
used
about it?
Canva to do a card to different people, but I just take a screenshot of it and
Ah,
then I change the name and take a screenshot of it and I change the name.
I like your style. Hey, it's a
Works for me.
workaround. Yeah, yeah. Do you find Canva, how do
There's
you
a
rate it?
well,
Usability.
I like it, but it's very complicated too. And if you have editing, if you've moved any illustrated things around, you catch on fast to their little symbols.
Yes.
But I've done a
It's a
book
whole new language you have to learn, kind of, though. Yeah.
yeah, it's a coding line, but once you've got it, but there's so many other things to it that you couldn't even mention tonight. All
Yeah,
those little packages that you can apply to your
I think we
creation.
have a Saturday Canva workshop coming up where we're going to walk through the whole project. We're going to do
Oh,
it together.
good.
Yep.
Nice.
Beginning to end. Yep. And we're going to explore 3 different projects in that 3 hours. So yeah, I'm going to get you both barrels that day.
So
but
everyone
yeah.
should sign up for a free account before that.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Have an account. You can use it as a guest too. And then the Pro, if you feel like it's worth $129 to have the AI features for the year. Now, speaking of Pro though, I will plug Canva here for a second because I bought Pro not for Canva. I don't use Canva at all, ever. I refuse. I'm not a template guy. Do not try to control me whatsoever. You will lose me immediately. I'm not a template guy. So I don't
Yeah.
use Canva at all, but I use Affinity. And if you buy the Canva Pro subscription, then you get the full features of Affinity. So whether you have it or you're interested in getting Canva Pro, it'll really unlock some features of Affinity. And the reason I'll give you the background or the reason why I'm anti-template is just because I don't think in terms of limitations like that. I want to do what I want to do. If I get an idea, I want to change it right now and do whatever I want. There's no way I could work in the confines of those boxes. However, I don't expect other people to be, to have a similar approach. Some people, and my wife is a great example, she just wants to make a darn flyer in under 15 minutes so she can move on with her life. And once you learn Canva's, wayfinding, you'll be able to do that fairly easily. So I'm looking at names on this call and I see several people who I know do not like to be locked into templates. And so Affinity is for you. But I also see people who I have sat alongside before and really enjoy the ease of use of having templates and stuff. So it just depends on how you approach it. I am not complaining about Canva. I am just wanting to make sure that you see all of it before you dive in, because it is a learning curve, and you will invest time and energy in Canva if you decide to, and something to be aware of. So,
Harmon's
okay,
got a
what else?
question there,
Oh, I
Pete.
see Harmon. I see that hand, Harmon.
Okay, your wife has created this. How does it get into the real world?
In Canva, what's nice is you can export in all the main formats. Like you can, once she makes the flyer or she does a local, like Beaufort. We live in Beaufort. She does like a local Beaufort businesses page where she goes around and works with businesses to do content and stuff like that. She'll make it in Canva. She has all of her templates the way she likes them. She'll make it in Canva. And then, like Donna said, sometimes she'll just screenshot it, and that's good enough for a social media post. Or she just hits the export button in Canva, and that'll give you the option of like PDF, JPEG, PNG, vector, like a SVG, well, depending if you have Canva Pro, vector export may be limited, but yeah, you are able to export it out in lots of different formats, right from Canva. So to answer your question, once you build it in there, you can export it easily. But what I was saying earlier is if you ever stop paying or you ever delete your Canva account, then you won't have access to those projects to edit anymore. You'll still have the exports you made, but the editing engine will now be gone. So
you can still print last year's flyer.
Yes, you can still, yeah, you can still, and even if you still have an active account, you can, what I like about it is you can get in there and edit it. You can change the year to 2026, you can change the date and stuff, and then just hit print again if you so wish, as long as you keep your Canva account active. The reason I like to design outside of a confine like that is because I have the Affinity app, I design my things, and then whether I am a Canva subscriber or have an account with them or not, I have full access. It's kind of like the Microsoft Office relationship, right? You have Word, which is the engine for creating Word documents, and then you can export it as a PDF. It's just sort of the same relationship there. Yep.
Great presentation, Pete. Appreciate
Thank
all
you.
your time.
Oh
Outstanding,
man,
as always.
yes, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. This is just so Saturday is coming up, the Saturday workshop, and be there or be square, as they say, because we're going to get to building, and then keep your ear out for some announcements from me. 2026, yeah, 2026 is going to be a fun year, as you saw the logo there. Empower Tech is where we've landed, and really looking forward to rolling out some additional resources for you as learners of technology. So thank you very much for having me. I look forward to next time, and yeah, I'll see you then. Thank you.
See you in a couple
Thanks,
weeks.
Pete.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you
Pete.
so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving, bud.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, Randy
Well,
showed up.
yeah, I noticed, yeah, he's been here for a bit. I'd seen him
Yeah.
and I didn't want to, of course, jump in for that notification, shall you say. Well, another great presentation today. Does anyone have any further questions? If not, we will move on to the item of the night. I'm sure everyone's waiting with bated breath.
After this, I've got a couple of basic questions that I'd like to ask the crew that are not related to Canva at all. So, but after the raffle, I mean the door prize.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. We have. Could you refresh my mind as to the number? Is it two?
We have
Lisa-
four $25 awards
Yes,
and one $100 award,
Gatter. Okay.
only to those attending the meeting tonight.
Ah, okay. Grand. Gotcha.
And there are
And
30 of
Lisa's
us.
on board.
30. Did we have 30? Oh, only 30 now.
I've got two.
Oh,
I've got two
screens.
machines, so it's
Yeah.
one
Al was
less.
twice, Pete was once,
Yeah,
various other
okay.
things occur.
Okay, I was watching the numbers. See, I'm aware for once. All right, well, let's see how we do here. Siri, are you with me, baby? Oops, I should be nice. People may not like that. Okay. Crust. Siri, I hate life when it doesn't cooperate with me. Siri, are you there? I have to push this stupid button, then it goes to that screen. Hello, Siri? Who was my backup? Oh, Bev, could you, why is it not, see, it was
So we're going between what numbers? One and
1 and
30.
30.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. Well, she's on strike tonight. Hey Siri,
Oh, man.
give me a random number between 1 and 30. Well, it
Is
worked
your volume
earlier.
up? How's the volume on your device,
Oh, that's a
Bev?
good thought. Well, it looks like. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30.
Yeah, mine seems to be working. If you want me to,
It's 2.
Two?
I can unplug my hearing aids if you want to hear her, but yeah, she came out with 2.
Barbara Moore.
Hey, Barbara.
Woo-hoo, Barb.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, next one. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. 9.
9. Chad Cullen.
Hey, Chad. Not sure I'm familiar with that name.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. 'Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. Honestly.
It's funny as my iPad is reacting every time you say.
Well, what is your iPad giving us? Hey Siri,
It's not.
give me a random number between 1 and 30. 8.
8.
Oh.
8 is Carlos Miranda.
Hey, Carlos,
Ooh,
boy, you've been
Carlos.
winning.
Wow,
Carlos.
yeah.
Hey
This is what-
Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. Crickets.
She's bored.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. 6.
Holy
6.
cow.
Carol
Yeah,
Zelinsky.
Hey, Carol.
All under single digits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the big one.
Okay.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 30. 29.
Hey,
29.
29.
Royce Thompson.
Yay, Royce.
Woo-hoo.
Woohoo. Big winner.
Okay, that wraps up the door prize drawing. Thanks, Bev.
Oh,
Thanks,
thank you
Thomas.
so
Thanks
much,
for chipping in,
Bev.
Bev.
Thank you, Bev. Oh, I don't know. I even practiced, but hey, technology, who knows what they're doing with it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're a technology club.
Yeah.
And I believe, oh, was that you, Mary, that had declarations to make? Or
No,
great.
I have questions to make.
Oh,
And,
questions
I mean,
to
questions
ask.
to ask that other
Yes.
people may not be interested in.
Okay.
I'm getting a new TV tomorrow, and I'm wondering if I need a sound bar, really and truly, just a little opinion. And then the other thing that is probably, I told you I got a HomePad Mini, and I'm really having trouble with it. And one of the things I was wondering is on my Wi-Fi, it's going to am I supposed to have a 2 and a 5 megahertz or whatever it is on my Wi-Fi? Because I'm wondering, because it's not working.
2.4 and 5.0.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dual
And
band, I guess.
and I'm thinking maybe that's why the HomePod doesn't work. And when I look under, I was sure we set up a 5, and I can't find it now. Whether so should I realize I should probably restart my router, but
That'd be my
because it's
first
not
thing I
pardon?
tell you to do.
What is to restart my router?
Yeah.
Hard
Okay.
reboot, yeah.
That's because I'm wondering if that's why this little HomePod won't work.
Oh,
It's very
not
frustrating because I
mounting.
checked whether or not I have the Wi-Fi signal there. So
Yeah. Troubleshooting, you always start from the base, and then in this
Good
case,
one.
the base is where your signal comes in to your house.
okay, and then
Then you
opinion.
then
Oh,
you
go
work your
ahead.
way through.
Well, I'll give that a try because I was about ready to take it back, and it occurred to me today to try to restart my router. What do you guys think about? I got a 55-inch TV. This I know this
Wow.
isn't Mac stuff. I just got
Nice.
I
Yeah.
just got a 55.
4K, of course, right?
Yeah. I got the kind I went all out because it's in the living room, and I got the anti-glare kind and the and because it's an angle and all this, so I spent too much money, but I'm hoping I can see it now because the eyes aren't what they used to be, right? Some of you may relate. Anyway,
Who,
I'm trying to figure out if I need to get a sound bar or not.
who's the manufacturer, first of all?
Samsung? Don't
Okay.
tell Ken. But that's my other TV, so I'm getting it to.
When it comes to
You,
TVs, I think they're the best brand.
Okay. Well, it gets the highest rating, this
uh-huh.
particular one.
You
Or
know, in,
one of
thi-
the
in
highest.
this day and age, the audio formats, they're so robust, and they can add so much to to the experience. And most of these TVs have, when you're probably paying that much for a Samsung, it's going to have reasonably good audio. But because you can have all this multi-channel functionality and the spatial stuff, and it's all that stuff is supported by, if you have an Apple TV, all those high-end things are audio things are supported. You might not need to have it today or tomorrow, Mary,
I
but
could add it later
yeah, you can always
if
add
I
it
find
later.
it.
And
Okay.
it can add so much to, in my opinion, to the experience and stuff, because there's so much subtlety to sounds, and these days they go to such elaborate lengths with the soundtracks to movies and stuff, and they add so much nuance and drama to the story. When you've got the feeling of sound in a spatial environment and three-dimensional a sense of it, it's a significant enhancement in storytelling, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
I
Well,
That's
Al,
what I wanted to hear.
what would you I mean, some of the systems I've seen, because, and Mary, I think I may have another sound bar underneath my bed, just an extra one from different things that I have evolved on. So if you wanted to try it to see if it made any appreciable difference, but my question to Al would be, I see some of these that are just, does a sound bar really give you that much more, or do you really need to have the quad effect of the speakers behind,
some of
I
these
don't.
or
soundbar
at least speakers
configurations
on each side? I mean,
some of,
I have that, and every once in a while I get startled as one of the rear speakers
yes,
pops off.
that's what you want.
Mhm.
Well, these days, they have some of these, these soundbar configurations that have little mini outboard speakers for ambiance, and they'll have a subwoofer for low frequency sounds, and so they can get fairly elaborate. I mean, when you think of a soundbar, you just think of one little horizontal bar.
Yeah,
Some of those can be pretty capable, depending how much money you want to spend in the budget, but. They have some pretty elaborate ones that, like I say, have a subwoofer, and then two or more little ambient speakers that you can. Some can be wired, some can be wireless, and so you start to have all these multiple sound sources, and it can be a significant enhancement to the viewing experience.
Mary, I just bought one and I did the same thing. I kept saying, why do I need this sound bar? I had one on my old TV and I did not plug the sound bar in for a while. And then I plugged it in and I could really tell the difference. The sound was much, much better.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might wait till and I'll try it out and then wait till maybe the new year.
Don't they have a
There'll
lot
be
of
New Year's
specials?
sales and stuff like that,
Like the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
That
The
would
Super
probably
Bowl
help.
always has a lot of stuff. Come on.
Yes.
Also, Mary, when you set up your new TV, play around with the audio on it.
Oh yeah.
Don't just go with the factory settings, because I'm one of those people who like more bass than treble, and I have a soundbar. I prefer a soundbar. You know how old my TV is.
Right.
But
And
in
you
order
know
to
where
get a
the
good
Super Bowl is
comparison,
this year?
in order to get a good comparison, you're gonna play with what the TV's offering you first.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good
I'm
idea.
sure that Samsung will have some pretty robust controls, and it'll have assortment of different modes. You know, uh, you can just take the model number and just download the manual if you don't
Yeah, I
have a hard
will.
copy inside of it, and peruse it, and I'm sure it'll give you a primer on what it can do, and then just get acquainted with the remote so you can just start to learn to navigate their controls and stuff. And you'll find, for certain kind of viewing subject matter, there'll be different settings that movies, I want a really robust, great dynamic range and all that. But if you're just listening to talking heads all during the day,
Yeah.
optimize for the human voice, that'll be good. And
Good
so,
point.
a little bit of exploration,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be pleased that these days, these Samsungs at that size with 4K devices, they come with a pretty robust feature set, and a nice 4K machine,
Mhm. Yeah,
nice.
by the way, I when I did the research, I got an OLED, not a QLED, because QLED is more for gaming, is my understanding,
Yeah.
and I don't do that.
Refresh
Just
rates. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Mary,
so that
what no one's brought up so far that I've heard is compatibility. Don't run into what happened with me. I have a Sony Bravia 55 inch, and we got like a really nice Bose soundbar. Think
ooh.
compatibility. I did not do that, so I run into
No.
remote control for this, remote control.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
And it
The
just
scourge
doesn't.
of modern life.
Yeah.
Well, I had read that someplace that so I might, if I decide to get a sound bar, then I should probably look at a Samsung sound bar just for ease of use. One of the reasons I was looking at Samsungs is because I've got another TV or two in the house, and they're Samsungs. So
And don't
it makes
forget
sense.
Al's posting on Facebook for privacy. That was really good, Al, with
Oh, I
how you check your settings because they are monitoring you.
Right.
yeah.
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 Well,
These smart TVs, they come with all kind of streaming app stuff built in and stuff. And I just hate it that you got to navigate this gauntlet of stuff with it. You're giving them all this, creating accounts with their companies, and they'll be able to look at your buying habits and viewing habits and stuff. But a lot of times they don't upgrade their streaming apps on a regular basis, and so I avoid all that the streaming options that are built into the TV like the plague. Settle on an
really?
Apple TV or something else that can be updated, and then you take the HDMI port out of your Apple TV and plug it into one of the HDMI in, and then you use that for all of you to navigate all your streaming services, and you'll be much happier.
Oh,
And you will be giving you're already giving some of your information away to Apple. You're not going to be giving more off to you know
Oh, I hadn't thought
Samsung
about
and
that
others.
part
Yeah.
and
because we
Mary,
have been using. Yeah.
if you have the headphones and you have the Apple TV that your TV's plugged into, excellent sound out of these
Yeah, baby.
headphones.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful.
As
well,
well as
I'm hoping my little home pod in my bedroom, I've got an
yeah,
Apple TV, and I was
yeah.
hoping to get that connected. It won't connect right now.
Yeah, yeah. With the Apple TV hooked into your nice high res machine, there's just so many things. I mean, you can cast your pictures to the TV. You can like when
Pictures.
I'm not watching or something, and it
Play
does,
music.
and I'm not around, you can tell it to go into a photos folder or something and grab
Hmm.
shots from my photos just to put on the screen. as when it's down. So you had so much functionality in that machine, and
Well, thanks.
yeah,
I
a lot of
I
fun.
appreciate all the information, the input, and thanks for entertaining me with your or accommodating me with you people sticking around to talk about it. I
Oh, good.
appreciate
Mary, this is Dennis. I suggest a letter to Santa. I think that's what you need to do.
Al, this
I
this is Lisa. Earlier in your presentation, it sounded like Apple TV can now be the name of your streaming service, the box that hooks into your TV, and the app.
I know it's confusing,
Okay, somebody needs to be fired at Apple. A whole section
Well,
or
yeah.
3 need to be fired.
I know.
That's the best they can come up with.
Well, technically, reading through some of the literature, the Apple they call the Apple TV 4K. I mean, that's its official name, and as if
Of
that's
the
supposed to
box.
differentiate it,
Yeah.
from the Apple TV service, or I got to question that rationale. I mean, that's.
Well, can't you hear the conversations? I'm having trouble with my Apple TV. Oh, the streaming service? Well, no, I mean the app. Well, maybe it's the box. Well, is it the
Oh yeah, to a neophyte, you're gonna get lost in the nomenclature, and you have to know the context of the question, before you can, give a reasonably good answer.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I had to say something. Just
Oh, I'm with you.
fireball.
And if you look at some of the links for that, from some of the stuff I posted, they would go into some great detail about, but they justified it in odd ways. I thought
Well,
some of the creative directors were saying, it's been out there enough for a while. It's like the ultimate flex when you could just call it Apple TV. Well, I mean, there's a lot of confusion in that, and as consumers, I don't want to be confused. I want to understand what you're selling, and that's like marketing 101. You want some clarity in your communication, and what are you selling? You're selling both a device and a streaming service and an application.
You'd think they would have learned with time.
Sorry, go ahead, Mary.
I was going to say, you'd think they would have learned with time capsule and time machine.
I don't know.
Nobody
that was different. Yeah,
they were different, but still people couldn't keep them separate in their minds.
My thing is, the more words you have to use to justify something, the further off the track you have
it becomes suspect right out of the gate. You got to make a compelling argument, and I'm not hearing one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys later. I got to get some gift cards out. So
all right,
take care, gang.
See you. And Bob, just
go on.
For the 5, I'm not seeing any of the 5Gs. If I don't see it when I do a restart, what do I do? What's my next move if I don't see the 5G or 5 whatever it is?
Well, I guess what kind of problem are you having?
Well, my HomePod won't connect. And I'm just wondering if it's because it's 2 instead of 5. The 2.4. Okay.
It's been a while since I played with a HomePod.
Okay. Oh, well, I can yell at Richard later because he helped me set this up to start with. So, he was here.
Should be able to find it, but
I would think
you
so.
got
But
that
it's
older
not
house too, so that might be playing into it.
Except for I'm hardwired to the Comcast. This is.
Yeah, but getting a Wi-Fi signal through the way they used to build the houses back then.
Yeah, well, this is right here by the router and all that. But I'll give it a try anyway and see.
Okay.
But thank you guys. And Chad, did you have some questions too? Because you were nice enough to stick around.
I have one. That being, I'm kind of involved with creating videos using Final Cut Pro. And I'm interested in any users out there in our community that have found a really good tutorial or significant training that gets you a little deeper into what you might find on YouTube. Anything in that Final Cut Pro world would be of interest to me. Anybody have any
I
avenues in
don't,
that
but
regard?
I just basically Google or search whatever aspect or action I am looking for when I'm in editing. Yes, there's a ton of programs out there. I don't know that I have one I'd recommend. I just utilize whatever individual or tutorial that comes up for the particular, like, oh my, yeah, how I do a bump, a dissolve, or whatever manner of editing I'm having difficulties with, if you will.
Okay.
I'll shoot Pete
Pete,
an email and tell him that we have the question, and then maybe he can be prepared with an answer on Saturday, Chad.
well, I think possibly it might be, well, depending on how many others might be interested, that would be a broad subject for him. Do you know what I mean?
It might be.
Yeah, it's he might, in other words, it might be a potential for a meeting or a Saturday, a main meeting or Saturday meeting, topic
Well, we can
as
see how
another
many
topic. Yeah, would
yeah,
be
we can see how
interesting.
many people are interested, but
Is
you can
yeah.
we can ask Pete if he can provide like maybe a starting point for you or something to explore, Chad.
Yeah,
Well, I built several videos, and I'm learning as I'm going pretty well. However, there's always that little element of, oh, I wish I had understood that one better. Oh, gee, this one's much easier to use. My work flow is a little choppy. I should have understood that earlier, you know. But it's a learning process.
well,
And
you
I'm
might.
hoping to find somebody who's been in it for a while and could give some tips.
Get us. Pete would do even a session for you for obviously a performance fee. And because he's mentioned that several times
As a
in the
early,
past.
okay.
Right, the option of if you wanted to contact him and
So how do I get a hold of him personally? How's that?
Pete Losey at gmail.com.
Just Pete Losey, Gmail. Okay.
Yeah, and Pete Losey, all one word.
Yeah, okay.
Well, then I'm going to let you do that, Chad, and tell him what you're interested in.
Okay, very kind. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Perfect. Oh, absolutely.
Well, thanks again, guys. That was very kind of you to hang